What would I have? Ah, yeah, I need to bring that back. Okay. I hope everyone had a nice Sunday. I hope everyone had a nice day. Next week F1 comes back and I'm very hyped. We had a very cool trailer that everyone hated, but me and Lazo both thought it looked really cool. I'm sure Juno thought it looked really cool as well. Hello Nan. I worked a little bit on the Red Mage for now, which I need to finish because I need to put the VODs on. And apart from that, we had a very fun gaming session with the friends where we played Red Flag, Green Flag. I found a website where we had prompts. And so we played Red Flag, Green Flag, decided which prompt was Red Flag or Green Flag or Beige Flag. And then just talked about it for a little while. That was a really nice afternoon. We had a lot of talks. It was really fun. Helene was the one that was like, hey, how do you feel about just like chatting mostly this week and not watching a movie? And we were like, yeah, let's do that. It was fun. It's lots of fun. And so we did this. And I remembered that a while back, Lazo was like, we should do Green Flag, Red Flag at some point. And I was like, I'll see. Then do you feel like doing this? Because that works with the chatting and I can see if there's like a website or something online. And I found one and I'm very happy about that. So very good day overall. I'm going to try to double down next week on getting more work done for the dating sim, because this week, since I was really going at it with Red Mage and overall also had quite a few days where I ended up not working because of this or that, I need to get back into it. And honestly, most of the time it was because I woke up too late or was too tired once I woke up, which was because I kept staying up until 5. Well, being on the game until 5 a.m. and then going to sleep at 7 a.m. So not great. Not great. But it does mean we're level 80 now. So, you know, I vanquished. So at least that's something. Up. Here we go. But yes, I have talked about it to people individually and stuff. But I would talk about it here because I haven't on stream, I believe. I have been working my ass off in game. Is the game too loud or is that fine? I think it's fine, yeah. I have been working my ass off in game. Specifically this week because I had 20 levels to do. To get all that I need to get for this. Oh yeah. And so I am very glad it's done. We're going to go get the outfit. And the thing is, as much as I love this game and as much as I love playing this game and as much as I like even doing leveling, I am very tired now of leveling within the game. Going to change jobs just so I'm not bothered. Not that I'm not going to continue doing it once, you know, I'm done with this, but I'm going to do it chillly, and I need a break from just doing leveling 24/7 for stream, because basically this past few weeks, the only thing I've been doing is leveling, and leveling. And it was especially this week where it was really bad because I had 20 levels to do. And that meant 3 levels every night plus 2 days where I needed to do 4 levels. Which meant that last night I stopped playing at 5 a.m. The day before I think I stopped playing at 6 or 7 a.m. both days. So, you know, not ideal. And very tiring. And if I continue at this rhythm, first of all, it means I have no time to do anything for me anymore, because during the day I'm working on the dating sim and then at night I'm doing this. It has big chances of making me really annoyed at the game and really pissed off at the game, which I don't want because I love this game a lot. Whenever I want to play the game, I can only do this. I'm not allowed to actually do anything else in the game because I don't have the time. That means I can't advance on the MSQ, can't advance on anything else in the game. And it's tiring. Genuinely, it's tiring. And so we're going to take a break from the doing all the jobs. I will go back to it. We will continue to do all the jobs at some point. I do want to go through every single job, but we're going to take a little break from it, and I'm going to have to find a way for the like level 60 to level 80 jump for it to not be as hardcore. And what I might do is more breaks in between the jobs, so that I don't feel like I'm only doing this. And I don't mean like, oh yeah, while you're leveling the job, you take breaks, because that's going to annoy me. I like doing stuff in a straight line. But for example, we do a job, I finish doing the job, okay, next week we'll do this for like a week or two, and then go back to another job later on. So I don't get tired and bored of doing the same exact dungeons again and again and again. To give you an example, last night, so I did the roulette, so that's random stuff. Then I had to do the same dungeon twice, and then another dungeon, same dungeon 3 times. The day before, I had to do one dungeon 3 times, another dungeon 3 times, another dungeon 3 times. Like, it's very tiring. At some point, you can't anymore. So, yeah. Would be nice, you know. Oh, I'm going to do this. There we go. Up. Let's see the gear for Red Mage. I think I saw it online and I liked it, so I'm happy. Because the gear I have right now, I'm like, it's okay, but it's not my favorite thing. It's this one, yes. Oh yeah, Black Mage one, I think I didn't take, but I looked at it. Yeah, it's cute. That's quite cute. I definitely don't have that, so I definitely didn't take it. I like it. I wish it didn't have the gems on the sleeves. Like, there's something missing a little bit as well. Like, I feel like the coat should be more... Like, I wish it didn't have the color gems. I wish it didn't have, like, the bright purple inside the sleeves, and instead a lot more, like, gold. I think that would be nice. So, yeah, I understand why I didn't take that. The hat I don't like. What did the shoes look like? Yeah, very, very classic. Oh, yeah, and I have that already. I use this quite often, because it's quite cute. And what was and that I do have. Okay, yeah. Okay. Let's see. Ah, I love that. That's so pretty. Up. Up. So yeah, what we're going to do, starting this weekend for a few, I don't know how long, we'll see until I want to get back to doing leveling, is that we're going to do what I wanted to do after I was done with all of the leveling, which is we're going to just go region by region and do every single quest I can find. The goal is going to be, there's no more quests in the game. Like you see, for example, all of these little dots, we're going to do all of them. So like region by region, which is what I had started to do when I just started the game. This is going to be nice. And then I can also, while off, in my off time and stuff, I can do MSQ if I want. I can do some stuff if I want, so that'll be nice. Well, it might allow me to unlock flying, but not anytime soon, because I do want to go through region by region. And since I do have flying up until, is it Hingashi? Because the Azim step is the last one I don't have. No. What's the Azim step? Ah, here, yeah. So all of this we'd have to do before we get to regions I don't have flying in anymore. So you're being mean right now, because most of them I still have them. So as soon as you would have knocked it otherwise. Fuck you. I have it in most, like out of all of this, there's only there's only 3 that I don't have it in. And half, because not even in half, 3 and 0.1, because of it there's just only 1 I don't have. So like out of all of this, but yes, let's focus on the Red Mage outfit. Isn't that so cute? I really like this. What does a weapon look like? Ooh, I like that. That's really pretty. That's actually quite cute. I like that a lot. Something I didn't notice automatically, and I noticed while I was playing more and more, is that when you do magic, the little thingy that flies, they put it on the top of the sword like a staff, and that's so pretty. That's so cool. With some of them, it looks genuinely really, really nice. I really like the little thing here. I think that's quite nice. I really like this. Also, I'm really excited to get... Oh, the under of the shoes is red. Let's go. I love that. Also, I'm really, really like fucking excited to finally get to do more MSQ. Also because I kind of want to... I'm getting tired of the look that he has, so I really want to change what he looks like soon. And I have to get to Downtrail to do that because I want to finish Endwalker and then change the look. So I'm very excited for that. Color of the hair. That's why we need to go. Mordona. Here. Let's go. Do I need to put the music? No, okay, it's fine. I look so fancy. I love that. Okay. I got all three of us. Isn't that so cute? Where am I? Wait, what? Wait, what? Oh, okay, they're here. God, I was worried for a second. I was like, where are Rodovan and Sophie, my baboos? I was like, and they're in the back, and I couldn't see them because I was looking at the wrong corner. Okay. Let's finish this. It was you, okay. F, Arya. Well, there were lessons to be learned as I dragged you along to my quest of vengeance. Tis time I offered the most structured approach to your training. With the support of you and your companion, Curtis's daughter has liberated Alamigo, but rather than return to this moment of glory, I feel I can contribute more to the rebuilding of my homeland from without. Please? It was decades ago that I joined the revolutionaries. Though our motives were just... It was our action that ultimately created a breach for the Empire to exploit. My time at the forefront of that stage has ended. To return to it now would only invite confusion and resentment. The revolution has since become the resistance. And the right to shape the future of Alamigo now rests in the hand of those who will live the coming age. Now I shall play a part by nurturing the new generation of mages. I made my mark as a crimson duelist, but you will not be bound by my oath. You are free to decide for yourselves how best to employ the skills I teach you. Now, as for your studies, you are well aware of my proclivity for practical application. We must challenge you with a new frontier, a place where the strong gather in search of adventure. To Idleshire, my friends. Let's go to Idleshire. I wonder how the pants look like without the rest of it. Ah, okay, yes, they're quite simple. I don't know if I'd use that for... Oh my god, she got a new outfit! That's so cute. That looks a bit like the Black Mage one from level 80, right? With like a little skirt instead of like pants. Or a longer skirt, rather. And more ruffles. That's so cute. Young Arya has invested in her appearance, it would seem. Oh, that... Maybe that should be, yeah. You should see the skirt here. I don't know why... Okay. Let's do this like this. Okay. Young Arya has invested in her appearance, it would seem. Doesn't she look the part? She's so cute. Right, let's break in that new equipment. There's a hostile organization of goblins known as the Illuminati. We talked about this before, you know how I feel about that. Making trouble for the people here in Idleshire. The most prominent friend to the populace seems to be a mechanical soldiers, controlled by Illuminati aggressors. I say we do the local a favor by using these clunking contraptions as combat device. Practice. I have to say, both of them have like more reds that are more on the pinker side. I'm glad mine is more of a... I mean, it's still a pink red, but it's still more a true red than theirs, so I'm happy. Because I prefer true reds to like pink reds. After your battle with Lombard, however, that may be all they amount to, especially for you, Ev. Your mastery of red magic is such now that I dare say you could handle a mechanical soldier or two on your own. As for you, Arya, your spells have raw power but lack refinement. I think I would prefer you to have training alongside a partner. I wish to try to fight alone. Please understand, before I began learning magic, I felt like I scarcely existed. But when I work to match you and Ev, when I see myself improving, that's when I feel the most alive. I was not more than to become a full-fledged red mage. I want to start at your side and fight as your equal. You should have a hat, it'd be nice. Well, far be it for me to stop you. Mayhaps the perfect way to conquer your difficulties with white magic is also to be alone in a situation which offers you little recourse but to rise above them. Both of you should head now towards Architecton and find your own mechanical foes to overcome. I will be waiting for you here in the Maker's quarters. Let's go. And oh my god, see, what's that? A region I can fly in! Wow, isn't that wonderful? And it's not even a region you acquire at the start of the game. I realized something yesterday, because what I kind of want to do is play a bit more warrior as like something for dungeons and stuff during not leveling time. Because I've never finished the quest for warrior and stuff, so I was like, it'd be a nice time to get back into that. I don't know why I really wanted to get back into warrior specifically. Because I like keeping Gunbreaker for like MSQ stuff. So I don't know, I was like, I kind of feel like getting back to warrior is the first job I learned in game and stuff, like it'll be nice. And I realized I haven't played warrior. I mean, I've probably played a little bit afterwards, but mostly I pretty much haven't played warrior since since I'd say around halfway through Heaven's Ward. Like, hadn't done the end of Heaven's Ward yet. I have now finished Heaven's Ward, played Dragon's Song, wait. I was halfway through here. I have since finished Heaven's Ward, played Dragon's Song, played post-Dragon's Song, played Stormblood, post-Stormblood, Shadowbringers, post-Shadowbringers Part 1 and post-Shadowbringers Part 2 and started Endwalker. Like, I have done so much of the game and not touched Warrior at all. So it'll be nice to go back to it, but also I looked at it and I was like, I don't do my hotbars at all like this anymore. And I haven't done a hotbar like this in I fully have like now a way to put my hotbar that I like, and I haven't had a hotbar like this in a really long time because I changed it so much, and so I re-put everything how it should be. And I don't remember like a single thing. Like I remember some stuff, but most of it I don't remember what it does. So I'm going to have to reread everything and relearn everything. So it's going to be fun. And also, since Nan is starting Red Mage and leveling Red Mage, it'll be nice to be able to accompany as tank instead of something else. And me help Nan to level rather than have it the other way around. Oh, push it back. What? Wait, what? Oh, okay. For some reason it wasn't selected. Here we go. I was slightly confused there for a second. But it's going to be nice to like be the one accompanying instead of the one that get accompanied quite a bit. And also it's also going to be nice because Nan's leveling up a job I have leveled now. So it'll be cool to be able to speak about it and know his opinion. Because apart from Dark Knight, which I have leveled up until level 60, so I don't even have like the full thing. We don't really have that. So it's really nice. Ah, I have come to recognize that confident step. Well done, Ev. Did you happen to spot Arya on your travels? Unless I have sorely overestimated her capabilities, I would have expected her to arrive not long after you. Arya did seem intent on proving herself, pray forgive the tortured metaphor, but I have a feeling she may have sliced more than she could fry. Come, let's seek out our young mage and render aid if needs be. Here she is. Oh. I did it. I won. Ev, there you are. Is Arya unarmed? My, there's a fair gathering of goblins. From the look of it, defeating Vestlot took almost everything she had. Can you walk, my friend? I've never seen you so... Whoa. Oh, that's a pretty hair color. Also, she is being possessed by the guy, I'm guessing. Give them to me. Your life energies, your souls. I must feed. Her hair is become like Lambard. Stop this, Arya. Tis no use, the hunger has taken over. We'll have to knock her senseless. Oh, we have to beat up Arya, okay. I mean, if needs be. Ah, well. Can't even do the fun part. I suggest we take her back to Idleshire. Let her rest at Rowena's establishment, and I hope she will be more amenable to discussion when she wakes. Yeah, we need to go over there. Okay. Sorry. What happened? Did I truly attack you? Gods, why would I do such a thing? I remember defeating the contraption. I remember falling to my knees exhausted from spellcasting. That kind of looks like Hatsune Miku there. I remember my thoughts fading away in a roar, and my head grew louder and louder and then nothing. I'm going to put the music a bit louder for you all. Talking about louder. I don't understand what possessed me. Never would I draw my blade on you or Hyun. Oh, Shrun. Shrun. We said Shrun, yes. This was poor judgment on my part. I should have not tested you so harshly. Listen to me carefully now, Arya. I have seen how battles can exhaust you, but I fail to understand what grim truth such exhaustion presaged. She also kind of looks like a... Why is there 15,000 Hatsune Mikus in here? She also looks like Hatsune Miku. Blue pigtails. In the moment, you say a roaring drowned over your thoughts. The color of your hair changed quite distinctly. We witnessed a similar transformation in Lombard. Harry began to feed upon living ether. Lombard was able to employ magic of incredible power, but it left him hungering for life force. I believe what you experienced was a surrender to that very same hunger. It cannot be. My erstwhile colleague described how he enacted a change in his physical being. Well, I suppose it is possible such a ritual was performed upon you as well. He mentioned the process requiring many years. You have many more questions, I am sure, but for now you must rest. If this hunger takes hold when your ether is exhausted, then it is more important that you recuperate from your exertions. And Arya, do not despair that you have lost yourself. After all, you are in perfect control now, are you? Not? I am. Thank you, Hyun. Shrun. Elf, we will seek to cure Arya's condition. Though I have little knowledge of such forbidden arts, I am confident that a determined expedition will yield the answers we require. Prepare yourself for another journey. Shrun. Are you ready to depart? The journey I have in mind will take us to the mountains of Girabanya, where we will visit the ziggurat built by the Red Mages of Eld. Lombard and I once explored these ancient ruins, searching for knowledge of the first incarnation of red magic. That was long ago, before we met Curtis and joined the revolution. Before I realized the manner of hidden wisdom from which Lombard has been truly seeking, the edifice itself has now been overrun by Quirkern. But a thorough expedition could still unearth something of value. Mayhap even the secret behind Lombard's occult transformation. Aya, my friend, I must ask that you remain here and continue your convalescence. And no spellcasting. Not even a lick of flame to light a candle. In your weakened state, we know not how suddenly the hunger might return. Yes, of course. I just thought that of what might happen is enough to make me feel ill. I'll be fine in my sick bed, but what of you two? Are you really going to travel all the way to Garabanya just for me? What would you do if the position were reversed? If ever afflicted by a condition and you knew a cure might be found beyond the mountains, what then? Why, I would be out the door in a moment. Thank you, Arya. Hahaha. That would respond so empathetically is the reason we have no qualms about doing the same for you. Aya worked so hard to master her skills, and I imagine it will be hard to refrain from training for a while. But she must recover from her exhaustion first before aught else. Come, Ev. The ziggurats awaits. Rest well, Aya. We shall return as swiftly as we are able. Let's go. Let's begin our expedition, shall we? Be on the lookout for stone tablets bearing the histories of the Red. Did I mention that it was our forebears in the art who constructed the ziggurat? It was built to suppress the unstable weather that was whipped up in the wake of the era's calamity. A sort of dampening weight that slowed the land's raging currents of ether to a trickle. In time, however, the ziggurat also became a library, where successive generations of red mages enshrined their stories and their secrets. It is a shame that so many of these precious slates have been lost to plunderers or simply worn out down by the ravages of time. As such, I do not expect to find a fully intact record of Lambert's ghastly rite, but at the very least we should discover hints of what transformation ritual entails. You take one way, I'll take the other, and we'll both take care not to fall prey to quick-running bandits. Hi. Ah, it's up there, okay. Let's start with the one on the ground. Here we go, crack tablets. I love that they designed a class to be like this, a job to be like this, and then they were like, oh yeah, these people came from a land where it's very dry and warm. And they're dressed like this. Makes very much sense. I do tend to always look at the big map, but I should look at the mini map more because sometimes it just tells me some things that I need to then look up on the big map, and I'm like, I should have just looked at the mini map, it was already there. I didn't need to look it up, it's fine. How did you fare? I discovered a number of tablets myself, which, while positively fascinating, offered little to the subject of occult rituals. Oh, if I'm reading this one correctly, you may have found exactly what we were looking for. It appears to be a record from a time before red magic was unified as a distinct discipline. The passage describes a rite by which one can make a pact with a void scent and ingest its blood in exchange for supernatural powers. Even amongst their kin, certain creatures of the void harbor a voracious appetite of living ether. Lombard must have acquired an ability to siphon his victim's life force from one such fiend. The practice in question is said to have started with a family of Maki sorcerers, who lived in the era preceding the 6th Humble Calamity. For red mages whose art draws so easily upon their own ether, there is an obvious if distasteful advantage of stealing a foe's life energies. And if one can employ such energies to fortify and sustain one's own form, as Lambert did... Sorry. Then one can even yield magics beyond the limitation of ordinary mortals. Not surprisingly, however, its tendency to result in ether-starved madmen led to the rite being declared a forbidden art. There's more. Some mention of an alchemical concoction that would serve to sate the anger for ether when living praise was unavailable, and the helpful scribe has even included a method for its preparation. Aria's transformation was strikingly similar to Lombard's. Surely this concoction would prove effective at curbing her condition as well. Let's see here. It seems the main ingredient is a chunk of semi-crystallized ether. Such a substance would be drawn from the core of an urolith. And I'm thinking the bigger the better. If I recall correctly, there are uroliths to be found to the east in the vicinity of the Sleeping Stones. Pray find yourself one of the larger specimens and procure an ethereal core. Once you have what we need, we can rendezvous in the hamlet of Alagana. I shall busy myself collecting the other ingredients. Okay. It'd be so funny if like the other ingredients are like some water and like a little bit of cinnamon. Like very, very regular shit. Like, okay, you go take care of the core where you need to kill shit for it. I'll go to like the local supermarket. God, I remember running all over here in Stoneblood and not liking it. Something I do like though is that I can cut through the mountains. I'm glad they fixed that in the later extensions, like not being able to cut through empty parts of the map. I'm glad we can. Whereas like in La Nostia or stuff like that, it's like you can't really. So it's nice. I don't know why I went as if I was a tank. I'm not a tank. Too excited to play tank. There you go. Give me your core. Thank you. But yeah, I hope I'll be able to get some more sleep in the next days, cause like in the few next days, cause I don't like being that tired, and I am glad that the source of me going to sleep so late is now gone. Even though there's no guarantee that I might not go to sleep hyper late again, even without that source, because my brain gets used to going to sleep at that kind of time too easily. Were you able to procure suitable core? Ah yes, this will do nicely. Enough to create a decent-sized dose at any rate. I've gathered together the other ingredients, so all that's left to do is deliver them into the hands of the experienced alchemist. Ah, but Arya must be wondering where we are. Why don't you go ahead to Idleshire and avail her of our progress? I'll meet you there as soon as I'm finished haggling with the potion mixer in Ulda. Do you ever think about the fact that it's Lasso's birthday next week? I think about that every day right now. Because I'm excited, I'm hyped. Very excited for him to have his gifts. He got his gifts a while back, so it's just been waiting to open them, and I'm like shaking with excitement. Because one of my favorite things in life is like gifting stuff to people and seeing them open them. It brings me so much joy, genuinely. I'm shit at opening gifts myself. Like, I don't have big reactions that a lot of people like are waiting for. So I always feel a bit bad because I'm like really happy, but you can't tell. Usually. That much I feel like. But watching other people that actually have a lot more reactions than I do get gifts makes me so fucking happy. Especially if I gave the gifts. And of course I'll be able to finally give the animation I did. A kind of potion? And it's supposed to help with the hunger? That will be one less worry then. Do you think Shroon will be back soon? What the fuck happened to Shroon? Oh, he's okay, okay. I am returned! Ah yeah, pray drink this concoction, and I shall tell you the discoveries in Garabania. But by the gods! The taste was not exactly pleasant, but I feel much recovered. It's as if a cool stream of water was poured on the fire in my chest. I don't know how to thank you. Your smile is the finest reward we could ask for. But I ask that you do not become complacent. This tonic is merely meant to help replenish your depleted ether. It will do naught to the underlying affection. I understand. If I exhaust my mana again, it'll be back where I was. A savage, controlled by hunger. which means I should still give up on training for now. For now. Okay, good. I was slightly worried that the way they were tailing this was like, oh yeah, this will fix this, and I was like, it shouldn't fix this, because it's not supposed to just replenish the ether. So I'm glad. Do you think Lambert infused me with void and blood while I was held captive? According to what I found in Yellow Jacket's incident reports, the span of time that elapsed between your kidnapping and subsequent rescue was not terribly long. And for much of your ordeal, you were shut inside a box. It seems unlikely that there were sufficient opportunities to perform a highly complicated and dangerous ritual. No, we must look elsewhere for the truth behind your condition. You mustn't me help you. If it allows me to begin practicing magic again, even one day earlier, it is torture watching the moments pass, wasting time I could be using to catch up to you. You'll never catch me! Very last now. You'll get there. Yippee! I'll certainly try, though I'm not sure that what help I'll be. I think we'll have a suffering friend delve into the scrolls for us. The Shallian have left behind a veritable mountain of lore, through which we can dig for answers. Ev, I shall leave you to your training. After all, you must give Arya an ever-growing peak to look up to. I'm sure that sometimes it's very funny if you play a Lalafell. Or a Fem Aura. Tiny. There, up. Oh, oopsie. There you go, better. Greetings, Ev. Aya and I have begun wading through the sea of ancient texts, but we've yet to fish out any promising cure for her condition. I did, however, recall something which may help narrow down our search. Long ago, Lombard had one particular book which he would read at uncommon intensity. I've forgotten the title now, but I do remember what the inside was scrawled with memoirs of a deranged killer who was executed as a heretic in Ishgard. Oh no, Lombard was a true crime fan. Oh no. This criminal is said to have committed a number of ritualistic murders or carried out the most peculiar form of thaumaturgy. I was going to say, is it the fucking black mage shit? It is. I merely thought it was vulgar choice of reading material at the time, but now I wonder if that peculiar form of thaumaturgy is what kept Lambert glued to his pages. It sounds positively awful, and yet it might just give us the clues we've been missing. I'll see if we can track those memos down. I understand it's quite a rare volume, and when it comes to hunting down elusive treasures, it might be worth consulting a professional treasure hunter. Eva Young waiting with the Midnight Dew. Why don't you take Arya and pay her a visit? Do I know the Midnight Dew? I'll try my hand at a few different routes. It's a long shot, but Ro and I is known to stock a truly eclectic range of wares. Ah, you, yes. I know who you are, of course. I never look at your name, I'm so sorry, lady. You're very cool. Oh, it's you, something you need. A heretic's memoir for a young lady here. Bit of an odd request, but who am I to judge? Oh, so you're looking with Frontier then? Thought you wanted it for some sort of tasteless personal collection, Let me think now, which guardian heretic ritualistic killings? Oh hells, it couldn't be. One of my fellow salvages was just telling tales of a treasure that he'd spied in the great Gobble library. Went there. Killed a few things. A rare book called Nightkin. Clancy glimpsed at the title and as he was running through his life through the Rhapsody's quadrangle. He sought after a tome for collectors of the macabre, said to be written by an Ishgardian murderer who believed himself in some manner of a demon. Half a diary, half a grimoire, chock full of bloody lunacy. Well, it certainly fits the description. We should head back to Rowena and try to new the throne. Thank you for your help, Midnight. Midnight Dew? I do? That's such a cute name though, Midnight Dew. I love that. Love that for you, Gollipop. Yes, Nightkin, that was the title. Written by a killer who thought himself born of fiends. Such a belief would suddenly brand him a crazy heretic in Ishgard. Wait, I wanna... Nightkin book, FF14. You get 2026 Gel for that. Very fun. Okay, no, it's just linked. It seems to be only linked with this quest. It doesn't have links in anything else, I don't think. At least it doesn't look like it from the wiki page. Oh, actually. Okay, so Red Mage quest has a scenario quest where you are tasked with exploring the Gobble in search of a book. With this post, however, is not about said book, but instead about the red herrings that led up to the final fight here. The other 5 books. I want to ask the content of such books and discussions on them as a place of lore, if any. Apparently there's a bunch of books. That's so interesting. There's The Dutiful Knight, Tales of the First Dark Knight, Sketches of Divinity, which is just a bunch of NSFW drawings, The Arcana Killer, which is story-based in an old FF16 job traits name, Diary of a Goldsmith, one of many pieces of a puzzle in this game, which when compiled to the story of a Gridanian goldsmith who became obsessed with void scent and dreamed of using Lady Amandine, the woman, for a host for a succubus. Ironically, Lady Amandine's corpse would become host to a succubus by her own doing when he would not get to fulfill his ambitions. He made a vast majority of minions based on sexy void scent if you read the item description on log entries. And then An Angel in Darkness. And the person just said, please look forward to it. So Dutiful Knight, it says, in the year 960, sorry, of the 6th astral era, a murder did occur wherein a member of the clergy was struck down by a knight of common birth. The knight, whose name was Trifaniel, wet his blade in the priest's blood after witnessing the unspeakable abuse of an orphan waif under the pretense of an exorcism. May his conviction in the face of corrupted faith be praised. Sketches of Divinity, it says, the pages contain incredibly detailed pictures of female deities in various stages of undress. No male divinities appear to be included in this collection. The Arcana Killer, it says, during the Thorn Dynasty, a series of unsolved killings shook the very foundation of Ul'dah. The murderer was so named for the practice of leaving a card from the deck of Arcana by the bloody bodies of the slain. Officials publicly suggested that the murderer selected targets based upon divination. As several key figures of a faction that opposed the royal house were prominent amongst the victims. However, it was whispered that the seemingly random slaughter was merely a cover for political assassinations, which would make sense in Ul'dah. Diary of a Goldsmith, it says, today I visited the 12th Wood, Lady Amandine of the Dawntek Wars, a regular patron of mine, bid me call upon her household. I set off with confidence, my latest masterpiece in hand, but it was within the walls of Hawk Manor that I beheld a true pinnacle of perfection. Which I'm guessing talking about the succubi. And then Angel of Darkness, the ink has faded to the point of illegibility. That is so cool. Okay, very cool. So it's like part of a bigger story with like lost books in the game in general. It's so interesting. Okay, so that will be explained later. I love so much that like there's this little thing and I'm like, I'm interested if it links to anything else than just this quest. So I look it up and then it's like, oh yeah, there's actually a bunch of lost books that you can get of plenty of different stuff and it's all lore. And it's all hidden lore within the game and I'm like, ah! So good. And you say the book was seen in the Great Gumball Library. I've not entered that place since the Shanghai and separated this land. What have you, Ev? Well, I've been there, done that. Fucked around. Like the back of your hand, eh? Well, then I vote for you to be our guide. We're going to go in? Oh, that's going to be fun. I don't know the library's guardians has turned hostile. I'm sorry, Arya, but you will have to remain behind. No sense putting you in a situation where you might be forced to fling spells. I would have liked to see those fabled shelves, but you're right, of course. Come, Ev, let's hurry through the hinterlands ere some intrepid scavenger make way with our prize. This is so cool. I love that there's like a bunch of fucking lost books. So fun. Where do we go? Okay. Reminds me when I did the Great Gumball Library the first time. I did go and read through all the books, and most of them, from my memory, if my memory serves, are like more like tactical war stuff and like a bit of lore, but I didn't really pay. Like I read it, but I didn't remember it. So if we get to actually go through the thing right now, I might read through a few of them to try to check again. I got big expectations. Right, let's not twaddle once we're inside. Make straight for the Rhapsody Squadron go, and leave as soon as we acquire the tome. From what I remember, the book Lambert would read was a fair thickness and bound in leather covers. Hopefully, it will not be too difficult to find. Dude, we have not been in there in a while. It's just books everywhere. Ah, here we are. Yes, it's books everywhere. This is more lair than library now. Lead the way, my friend. Yeah, you skip through the entire thing. Okay. Makes sense. Oh, it's my babies. I love them. I love the little guys. They're so cute. Look at them, the little owls. Music's fun. Yeah, a level book of that's quite thick. I'm sure that's hard to find. Well, we won't get to read the books then, because the books that are readable are at the start of the dungeon. Big expectation. You got big. I have such the reflex of like not using my stuff with as and waiting for the boss, and I forget that we're probably not going to the boss, and I'm like, I should probably use the bonuses rather than be a bit sneaky about it. I kind of want to wait a little bit for a few of the poisons to leave, because I do have 3 things of poison damage on me right now. There we go, perfect. Nothing there. Usually there's a guy here, but you put specific ads and not the same. Goodbye me. Go. Ah, here we are. Ooh, that's a lot of books. Here we are, now to find that book. Ah! Here we are, sorry, I read the books that's, yeah. In the year 960 of the 6th astral era, a murder did occur and a member of the clergy was struck down by a knight of common birth. The knight, whose name was Trifanio, wet his blade in the priest's blood, after witnessing the unspeakable abuse of an orphan wife under the pretense of an exorcism. May his conviction in the face of corrupt faith be praised. And so that's the story of the first Dark Knight, called the Dutiful Knight. That's the porn. During the Fawn Dynasty, a series of unsolved killings shook the very foundation of Ul'dah. The murderer was so named for the practice of leaving a card from the deck of Arcana by the bloody bodies of the slain. Officials publicly suggested that the murderer selected target based upon divination. Several key figures of the faction that opposed the royal house were prominent amongst the victims. However, those whispered that the seemingly random slaughters was merely a call for political assassination. I wonder if God, people should shut the fuck up outside. Okay, story based on an old FF16 job trade name. Okay, so there was a trade name in Final Fantasy 16. No, sorry, there was a trade name in Final Fantasy 11. I kept saying 16, but it's 11. It's not 16. Sorry. That had a trade called the Arcana Killer, and that's what it's based on. Okay, that makes sense. But I do kind of wonder if this inspired the plot for the Astrologian job quest, because this is very reminiscent of specifically the story of I forgot her name, but Orbebu's Girly Pop's father was an astrologian and then got assassinated by people while trying to help others. So I wonder if they kind of changed it and got inspired by it, even though this is kind of different because this was in Ul'dah and stuff, but still. I wonder if there's some similarities. The ink has faded to the point of illegibility. Not this one either, try another. We need to treat every page, my friend. Today I visited the Twelfth with Lady Emerald, blah blah blah, that's what I read earlier. And this is... Sorry, and this one was based on... Pieces of puzzle when which combine tell the story of a Gridanian goldsmith who became obsessed with void set and dreamed of using Lady Amantine the woman as a host for a succubus. And then Lady Amantine's corpse would become a host to a succubus by her own doing. And he would not get to fulfill his ambitions. Okay. That was based on that. Very interesting. And that's why I believe the boss in Hawk Manor is called Lady Amantine, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, no, so I should... Fuck. There's one missing, there's one missing, there's one missing, there's one missing. Fucking hell. Let me heal. Why doesn't he get healed when I heal him? There we go, we're getting through halfway. Because this dumbass refuses to, like, get out of the freaking AoE. The bookish behemoth has fallen. It appeared the prize is hid within its belly. Naiken. I am the descendant of demons, the scion of tainted blood. It is all my brethren born into darkness. It was a Naiken that I penned these words. The holy men will insist my teachings are madness, the ravings of a deranged killer. But you shall learn that all I scribe henceforth is eldritch truth, and the faith that twisted lie. Yes, we found it. There can be no mistake. I wanted to read the rest. When you enter in the space, I've breathed enough of the moldy parchment. You did well in there, Ev. I've never known acquiring a book from a library to be such a tenuous endeavor. May I see the tome? Yes, the author does suddenly seem convinced of his demonic heritage. I can see how the clergy of the time would have passed his writings off of heretics' delusion, but the spellcraft contained within its odd but incoherent rambling. Within his memoirs, this mage has provided specific instructions on the workings of forbidden sorcery. Little wonder that Lombard spent so much of his time studying the tome's secrets. But there is more, much more. Let us return to Adolshire. Arya needs to hear this. Yelling outside pisses me off so fucking much. And this is not too late, that's allowed to yell for a little bit. I'm excited to at some point do like the raid for this, because I'm wondering still what the fucking business is of this thing. There's so much in this game that I have no idea about, genuinely. I've just finished slogging through the last pages of Nightkin. Several truths I discovered which made it difficult to continue, but amongst mounting sense of horror I found hope. Thus I bid you listen until the end of my tale. I shall begin with the author himself. And so this man who wrote the Night King was not merely some disturbed killer, but a mage who mastered the art of the ancients. Exactly. A century ago in Ishgard, this monster in mortal disguise devoured all manner of forgotten texts, teaching himself everything from red magic to Machi summoning rituals. Do you know what Machi is? Machi FF14. Mac. Beware the dark. Keep away and lose your heart. That Mac? Winds of Mac. Maho Tochi Maha, or Mac, literally Magic City Mac, was an ancient city of magic in Final Fantasy XIV that existed in Eorzea during the 5th Astral Era. Few traces of their legacy were present a Realm Reborn. They were not mentioned by name until Final Fantasy XIV Heavensward. Advances in Machi sorcery were made for one reason and one reason only: cataclysmic destructive power. And the swiftest and most dangerous method of acquiring that power was through the enslavement of voids and entities. The Machi thrived in the Yafem Saltmoor northwest of Mordona. Little is known about them other than the sinister reputation of its void mages, who summoned otherworldly beings to attack their enemies in the War of the Magi. Oh yes, War of the Magi. That was the Thaumaturge's war, where it was white mage against black mage. Yes. Contemporary city of Nim and Underpore. Mac started a small fishing village in Yafem. One day the villagers pulled an artifact out of the sea from a void sent emerged, and I'm reading from the wiki, by the way, from the finalfantasy.fandom.com/wiki/Mac. One day the villagers pulled an artifact out of the sea from which a void sent emerged and bestowed on them vast arcane knowledge. Brilliant minds pursued greater and greater advancements, especially in destructive magic, but the sorceress Chateau, which we met in the Black Mage storyline, established the founding principle of black magic. From there, a humble fishing village grew rapidly until it became one of the most powerful nations of the 5th Astral Era. As a precaution against rogue void scents, the void mages developed null stones as a means to obliterate them and kept it secure within a great pyramid of city proper. Using an elaborate trap, the Mac tricked the Nemia sea galley into bringing an ampoule to their home nation containing a void scent named Vitoso. This void scent would unleash a devastating plague called the Green Death, which transformed many Nemians into tomberries. In their warfare against Adampur, they unleashed Diabolos and Ferdiad. Ah, that's what the tomberries look like. Okay, yeah. The White Mages sealed the Great Void Scent deep within the lost city of Adampur, and Adampur kept. The War of the Magi's deleterious effect on the realm's ether began to push elementals into retribution. The Void Mages learned that the Great Flood would soon engulf the world and sought to evade the calamity, the Maquis preparing for a great ark to take to the skies. To power such a vessel, the Void Mages bound by 1,000 Void Scents within the vessel that included the Shadow Queen Satkat, whose presence was ultimately the Maquis' people undoing. 50 Void Mages sacrificed themselves to reseal the rampant Void Scent, with the ark disappearing into the sky. The Nullstone was kept into a securely warded tomb in hopes of raising Floodwatchers would deny any Void Scent access to the artifact. Legacy. As the floodwaters of the 600 calamity receded, Yafem became swampland, and the waterlogged ruins became known as the Weeping City. When the 6th Astral Era dawned, mages were persecuted due to the turmoil of the War of the Magi had brought. Many Maquis survivors later founded the city-state of Beladia and Intanalan, which is part to escape the persecution. Though Mac itself was no more and became a faded memory, the city and many rampant of its occupants' warfare with Nim and Ampador would be unearthed during the upheaval of the 7th Umbral Calamity. The Lost Void Ark can be seen as a ghost ship drifting the sea of clouds above Abalazia's spine when Diabolos is freed from his confines in Lampor. The riches of the Void Ark and retrieves Skatzat's prison and sends Forgol and the recently fled Ferbiad to the Whipping City to obtain the Nullstones, so that they could act without fear of alienation. Diabolos underestimated how severely his time sealed away in Emperador had weakened him, however, and his plans were undone, at no small cost, by a coalition of adventurers and sky pirates, and with the assistance of the ancient Maki familiar. An unknown architect was able to preserve Maki architecture within a hidden island of Occult Crescent, located in the Shades Triangle in Inigo Deep, alongside the architecture of overseas states that thrived in Eoja during the 5th Astral Era. Okay, and then I have a picture of the Void Ark and a picture of Dunscainth. Oh, interesting. And so all of this info comes from Occult Records Unhallowed Hamlet, which I don't know what that is, and Fred 2015 14-hour anniversary broadcast law panel wrap-up. Okay. So it's a lot of like stuff that's not in the game. I'm guessing it's like a lot of stuff that's hinted here and there in the game, but that to put it all together is a lot kind of thing. Paste. Okay, I'm unsure what what's the Occult Record and all the Hamlet actually is. Occult Records. Okay, it's a bunch of quests basically. A lot of them, God. Okay, so there's a bunch of specific quests that you can do to get that. Okay. The Occult Crescent consists of two parts, Occult Crescent South Horn and Occult Crescent North Horn. Both zones can accommodate instances of up to 72 players. By progressing through these zones, you will gradually unlock the Down Trail relic weapons. Okay, so it's the name of stuff from Down Trail. Specifically, I think raids from Down Trail. 72 players. It's a bunch of quests you can do in Down Trails. Oh, is it like the region stuff? I think it's the region stuff. I think it's like the... yeah. It's like a treasure hunt. It's like a huge fucking treasure hunt of 72 players. Okay. Okay. Okay, good to know. I'm reclosing everything. The secret to his seemingly inexhaustible power lies in the bloodline. He was directly descended from the Maki Archmagus who had ingested the lifeblood of the Voice and Queen Lilith. In fact, it was with this very Archmagus that the vile practice of infusing oneself with Voidset blood first began. I believe I told you how the Red Mages later outlawed these rituals, but the damage has already been done. Lilith's insidious energies had been passed on to the Archmagus' hair. This clan of effort-drinking spellcasters became known as those who were born into darkness, the Nightkin. The revelation which truly shook me, however, has yet to come. I discovered the Lambert was a scion of the Nightkin clan. And quite likely, so are you, Arya. The book's author was of the Callowise family, a surname shared by Lambard. With no small amount of trepidation, I determined to look once more into your family records, and learned that Callowise's name was also prevalent on your mother's side. This can be no coincidence. Okay, so she and Lambert are kids from family lines which come from an archmage which did blood magic with Lilith blood, and this is what brings them to wanting life force. This is what that life force anger is from. Are you saying that Voidsent blood runs through my veins? It explains your preternaturally strong affinity with black magics. When I remember that Lambert was of similar arcane disposition, the connection is even more obvious. He had no need to ingest fiendish blood, he simply awoke the corruption which had always lurked within him. The ritual is for doing, so we're clearly described in the pages in Niken. And Niken is a book that explains the story of the first guy that did that, if I remember well. If I understood well. Were these rituals performed upon me too? Again, it is doubtful considering their complex requirements. My theory is that your latent talents were stirred into wakefulness quite by accident through your introduction to the ranks of the Red. I wonder, however, why the same awakening that took years for Lambert occurred so swiftly in you? Because she's just that strong? An innate affinity, perhaps. Whatever the case, that this unstable condition was triggered by your desire to control certainly explain Lambert's parting barb about the injustice of your fate. But all is not lost. There is a way to undo the curse of the lineage. The first colorwise drew Lilith into the physical world by providing a mortal host for her soul to possess. He stood unflinching before the fiendish queen he had summoned, and forged with her a bargain of blood and darkness. Once the Archmagus had partaken in her essence, however, he entrapped her inside of a heavily glyphed box. Her material form thus captured, Lilith was unable to return to her shadowy realm. It was written that the imprisonment of the plane of existence was a necessary act, lest the potency of her blood begin to wane. Do you understand what this means, Arya? I think so. The corruption inside me will only last as long as the Voidsent Queen remains in our world. I see, we need to find the box and banish Lilith back into the void. Exactly right. Defeat the Voidsent and the curse upon your blood is lifted. Of course, a creature of Lilith's stature will ordinarily present a near insurmountable challenge. We are fortunate then that the summoner bound her essence to a feeble vessel to prevent her from manifesting her full power. Even we few should stand a chance against the lesser incarnation. Now, it appears that the author succeeded in tracking down Lilith's prison, and through the book makes no mention of the event. It is entirely possible that the box passed into his possession. Our surest bet will be to follow in his footsteps. Rest and prepare, my friend. We have an exciting adventure ahead of us. Ah, Ev. Your fellow student has had the most astonishing dreams. Why don't you tell him about it, Arya? It was so disturbingly vivid. I dreamed of a man who rode Night King in a corner of a house in which he hid away the world. He kept a coffin-like box, black as night. Its side marks with jagged lines of purple. As he watched over it, unblinking, a visitor broke through the door with a company of knights. Half the soldiers were ordered to haul the man away to the tribunal, while the other half takes the coffin. This coffin you describe is the very image of a Maki tool of containment. It is as if you saw the vision of past events. It was probably just a nightmare brought on by the tales of those memoirs. Well, as things stand, your dream is the best lead to the memoirs have given us. Let us pay a visit to the tribunal in Ishgard. Nothing ventured, nothing gained, I say. Let's go. Back to Ishgard. going. You'll be fine. Wait, have I ever gone inside the tribunal? Probably for Heaven's Ward, I would guess. I didn't know you could go in there. So pretty. Different houses. Yep, okay. Thanks to God, the officious bureaucrat refuses to allow me to access their records. Mayhaps he will listen to you. Did you say? What do you look like? Did you say? What strange coincidence, did you bear the same name as... Ah, it's you, in the flesh! My apologies for not recognizing you sooner. Whatever the hero of Ishgard requires, we shall not hesitate to provide. This was in regards to the heretic killer who's left with awful memoirs, yes. Your request shall be given the highest authority. Pray understand, however, that records of objects seized in the previous century are not immediately at hand. It may take some time to scour the archives. Just like that, eh? A moment ago you were ready to cast me out of the snow. Mayhap you should give Arya a tour of the city. I'll stay here with our new friend and help guide the search. It is quite easy when you are the saver of Ishgard and the boyfriend of the guy in charge of the city. It does help.
I suppose we would just be in the way here. Could we go to the last vigil? I suppose I heard the view is spectacular.
If you want to. Oopsie. I always forget how you actually get there. It's through the sides.
This is amazing. I was told you could look over the entire city from here. I couldn't wait to see it for myself.
Fond of such sights, are you? You are fond of high places then.
If they come with a view such as this, I am. I would ask why you keep asking me that, but I'm afraid the answer would lead to even stranger questions. To be honest though, I wanted to burn this first sight of Ishgard into my mind, to fill the empty space in my memory with wonderful vistas. When you first rescued me, I knew not who I was or where I belonged. As I've said before, I was scarcely felt that I existed. But the well of my memory is no longer empty. Though it has been but a small fraction of my life, my journey with you has shaped me into what I am now. So you can understand why I'm so eager to return to training. Red magic has given me the power to fight against fate that would have left me hollow.
Arya, we've learned the resting place of Lilith's prison. As incredible as it may seem, the coffin from your dream matched the description of the heretic's box, purple lines and all. The Inquisitor were apparently so unnerved by its fell energies They cast the thing into a ravine. The place in question is known as the delightful name of Witch Drop, and is to be found at Quercus Turtle Island, swarming with void scent, or so I'm told. Shall we? Okay. And before we go through this, I'm going to go to the bathroom real quick. So I'll do this, and I'll do this, and I'll be right back up, up. Back, up, up. Had to close my windows because I was constantly getting distracted by the neighbors yelling. And I checked, there are like neighbors on like the same wall, but like next to me, like on the right side. I think it's like, because I could see them like in the reflection of the neighbors in front of me, in their windows, and just like windows open and just yelling their fucking heart out for some fucking reason. They're so annoying. Clearly like young adults slash teenagers, I don't really know. But yeah. So I'll reopen later, but for now have to close because it keeps like annoying me. And I hope that they'll stop after a certain hour. This chasm is crawling with fiends, just as described. As drawn by Lilith's dark essence, I wonder. Let us descend into the depth of begin digging. Mayhaps the very power which attacks the Void Sent will help guide our efforts. Oh, you will be able to follow us down there, won't you, Aya? I seem to recall you had a crippling fear of ghosts and spirits.
Oh, what? No, I'm fine. There's no skeleton or spectre here, so I'll be fine. Perfectly fine.
So fine, you felt the need to tell me 3 times. Well, considering your current trouble with spellcasting, you'd better stay close in any case. You're far from where they were. And not all in the directions that we're looking at. Ah, over there. And over there. Bunch of destinations. You dig in the snow would find nothing. Dig in the snow would find nothing. Ah, here we go, third one. An ominous coffin lies buried beneath the snow. Okay, I thought I did that one, but I hadn't. My bad. Oh, indeed. Big ass coffin, god. Only one bearing my blood gift may break the seal. Slay his pretender. The Maki sarcophagus seems to be magic. You don't need help, you're chill. Yeah, you're having fun, you're having a good time. Good for you. You're probably doing your hunting log or something. Under a shallow amount of snow, you said. Extraordinary. Only one bearing my blood gift. Could this mysterious voice be going to Lilith herself?
Let me try opening the coffin. If the voice is telling the truth, then I'm the only one who can.
Well, very well, Ev. Lead us to the dig site. Well, have fun killing the guys.
It looks just like it did in my dream. I'm going to open the lid.
I can feel the waves of malice even through the yard. It's no lowly imp. Proceed with caution. Arya.
Lilith may be a weakened state, but she's still queen amongst her kind. Let us not be caught unprepared.
Ooh. Gods above.
Oh, she's one of the snake ladies. Alas, I am free from this miserable prison. 1,000 years of scheming come after fruition. Yield unto be thy vessel, child. Thou shalt be host to mine immortal glory.
Host, you seek to possess Arya's body.
A masterpiece of centuries. For generations I have guided the dream of my blood gifted, bringing them together and strengthening their line.
So that's why the other one lost his mind.
When at last the chosen one was born, I sent another to secure my precious vessel. He commanded his own puppets, never knowing it was mine.
Lambard!
Heed me, child, my darling creation. I am a reason for thine existence, for the entanglement with thy sires, for thy deliverance under solitude.
Do not listen, Arya. Her words are poison.
Come, deny not thy destiny. Thy life was molded by my hand. This was always meant to happen? My parents, my uncle, all of it? Sweet child.
Oh. Arya, no! Well, let's go get her, I guess. God damn it. Arya moved as it entranced. Leaf must have some hold over those who bear her blood. It was Arya's dream that led us here. Into a trap, where to believe that hissing serpent. This meeting was 1,000 years in the making. But all is not lost. See how she did not immediately claim Arya's body for her own? From what I understand of such things, in order to possess a mortal's body, Lilith must conduct a ritual of exacting preparations. There is time yet to deduce the location to which she fled. Let us return to the pillars and consider the possibilities. Let's go. Okay. Lilith's words yet to echo in my ears. Did I not thy destiny? Thy life was molded by my hand. Arya became a red mage to gain control over her fate, and I'll be damned if we abandoned her to this one. But first thing first. We must expend every effort towards finding the place where the Voidstone has taken our colleague. The ritual preparation will not take forever. I've decided we should go to the Thaumaturge's Guild in Ulda for help with tracking down Arya, of course. I've been doing some research into Voidstone and possession, and as I suspected, the process is not a simple one. Even so, I doubt we have the time for me to become fully fledged expert on the subject. We need one right now. The Thaumaturges are one of the few organizations familiar with Aquari, considering how they are also the modern successors of the arcane knowledge of the Mark. Their shelves may even hold ancient lore that could tell us more about Lilith. Let us be away. Yeah, I've even like talked to Chatoto in the past, so like, you know. I've done my fair share. Hi, Yayake. I have just been expecting our woes to prelate Yayake here.
Well, when Shren spoke of a colleague, I did not expect to be meeting our very own Avatar of Devastation. Now then, the Talmud passages pertaining to the Voids and Lilith are all forbidden occult works. Aberrant volumes chained with the shelves of our deepest archives, never again to be seen to the light of day. I'll just pop back there and grab one or two. If you could wait here for a moment.
I love that you have like the little comment of, oh, it's you! Like, if they know you, I love that so much. It's such a small detail, but it's so nice.
By Tal, she's even more sinister than I imagined. We've no mention of her presence in the past millennium. I had thought Lilith destroyed, and yet would seem she's very much alive and exceedingly dangerous. Her most fearsome aspect is the power to enslave a person's will. If we include all those with even a whisper of her essence within their veins, she has slivered inside the minds of a veritable army. The sigil employed by this Lambert of yours is a second-hand manifestation of Lilith's ability. He would not need the coat to coat a tool with his tainted blood and engrave her name in the flesh of his victim to create an unthinking puppet as you described.
And what was that but a faint echo of a true power?
Correct. A power she will not hesitate to bring to bear on the mortals she so despises. Archmagus Colorwise made stoutly sure of what when she lured her into his trap. As well as the talent for draining the life force of her prey, Lilith is also known for spiting venom, a truly dangerous opponent. But the Archmagus came prepared but the Archmagus came prepared with potent antidotes. Undone by her summoner's treachery and the limitation of her mortal host, Lilith found herself divested of her beloved rod and sealed inside Maki's sarcophagus.
And then spent the next 1,000 years plotting her escape.
It is as you say, but mere freedom is not her endgame. Above all else, I imagine Lilith's desire for a form which allows her to manifest the fuller of her terrible power. She means to reinvest her soul within the perfect vessel and thus enhance the strength of her incarnation by an order of magnitude.
The perfect vessel. Lilith carefully orchestrated Arya's conception over the span of centuries. If we do not oppose her now, I dread to think what havoc such a cunning and powerful fiend could break upon the Eorzea. My character looks so nice here, like with the lighting and stuff. Oof. Look what she has accomplished already. So subtle were her manipulations, a single one of her knightkin realized her plan and sought to destroy her. Well, this has been all very enlightening, but we are still no closer to finding Arya. Have you any ideas?
In order to invest herself within a new host, Lilith will need to recreate the condition of her original summoning as faithfully as possible. Alignment of the stars, weather, location, that sort of thing. The location I can tell you, assuming the ground itself hasn't fallen into the abyss. Lilith will have taken your friend to the summoning circle in the arena of the city of Mak.
Does not the whipping city lie in swamps of Yafem? Not getting here without an airship and a pilot, eh? But not to worry, we know the very person who can help us get on the Daunt, Deputy President Jessie of the Gull and Iron Works. I shall contact her immediately. I'm in touch with Jessie after that assassination business. As she put it, she was more than happy to let us accompany ship. Prelate Yayake, you have been an immense help. How can we repay you?
That won't be necessary. The guild was already richly compensated by a certain merchant. He requested we aid any mages of the Red who might happen to seek our knowledge. Are you acquainted with Master Wilkin? It would seem he's been quite generous in spreading his wealth around Ulda to ensure you encounter no refusals or inconveniences.
Wait, Master Wilkin. Apparently it's the name of a real person, FF14. Ah, yes. It's the guy we went to see in the... what are they called? In the Gold Saucer. That's him. Well, as a graduate of a wealthy merchant is a fine thing to have. Right, it is time we were off to Revan's stall. Jessie will be waiting.
Don't forget to stock some antidotes. I'll be terribly disappointed to hear you die to Lilith's venom of the tale I told you.
Well, I'm not going to do that, but that's very nice of you to consider this. Because do I even have any antidotes? I have 3 antidotes, perfect. There's people screaming also on the other end of the house. I want to scream. Like I had from those 2 windows people screaming very close to me, and now from the windows over there I also hear people screaming. Which can't be from the same house because it's not the same street. Pissing me off. Sean told me the story and I have a airship ready to fly. I pilot you into the storms myself. I said I'd return the favor to Arya, and I don't go back on my promises. Shall we go? I'm moored to the northern bank of the lake. As the plan is simple, we cut through the roads as quickly as we can, and unleash merry hell into the Voidsent Queen. The outcome of the battle will decide Arya's fate. Bring everything you have and make sure it includes a vial to your antidote. Well, I have 3, so that should be fine. Just in case though, I might put it into my hotbar, because they are really like going hard on bring antidote, so just in case. Do I have anything else that's like antidotal? Honestly, I'm surprised I don't have more. No, I don't think so. Doesn't look like that. That's what I already put. I don't know why it is that people like think it's just fine to just scream in the street constantly. Like, how hard is it to just be respectful, you know? Ah, good luck. I know what that is. Good luck. Right then, got your gear, emptied your bladder, make straight for the ruins of Mac. All aboard, folks. I don't know how much about this demon witch, but you send her all back to the void. I want to see Arya safe and sound. Lilith only has one chance of this ritual, but once she knows whether to stop her, she may begin the ceremony anyway. Conditions be damned. If that happens, then we must defeat the fiend. The ears of she forces her soul into Arya's body. We will triumph over Lilith and free our companion from her curse. Okay. Where are we going? Oh, there? Okay. Die. Good night. I'm going to go stack by stack, because like... I'm going to probably have to be careful with this fucking HP as well. I don't wanna, it pisses me off. Oh, that's pretty. Ooh, I love that we're like in a tower that's sideways. That's so nice. That's all so pretty. Like, we're just talking about Mac and the ruins of Mac, and now it's there. That's considered, yeah, Whipping City of Mac. That's considered more than that. Okay. I wonder if that's part of like a raid series. Hi, Lilith. Is that Arya? Or is that... yeah, that's Arya, okay. I love how every fucking pretty much all the DPS and like healer quests of anything are like, do you want to be a tank? You chose a non-tank class. Do you want to be a tank? How do you feel about being a tank? Oh fuck. Sorry. Okay. Precisely numbered. Oh fucking hell. It's not so much as an at least so far I'm doing a lot better than Bart. Is there a phase 2? No, it's fine. This one was so fucking chill. Lambert made me fucking cry blood, and this was so chill. This was so nice. I'm sure if I didn't even have the poison, I'd be fine. Because they weren't even that long. They're like 20 or 30 seconds, so as long as I auto-heal myself, it'd be fine. Kinda glad I had the antidote anyway, because it's practical, but still. Aria, Lilith is slain. Come back to us now. Damn it, why won't she wake? I'm predicting there's a phase 2. I'm predicting we have to fight Aria. Don't mind me taking screenshots. Thank you very much. Where am I? Where is everyone? God, the fact that they didn't think of giving her like the back of her skirt really pisses me off. Like, give her shorts. I see. This is my own mind. I'm being forced aside on that fiend. By that fiend. Yes. Accept thy fate, child. Mine own form was destroyed. But with it, thy vessel has my soul taken refuge. Once I will have diminished into oblivion, mine essence shall transform its shell. I will rise anew, glorious and complete. And then shall I wreak my vengeance upon all the children of man. Seek not to defy me, my darling creation. Surrender to the void, surrender to me. Lilith created me. I have to accept this fate. It was what I was always meant to be. Forgive me, Ev. There were so many more memories I hope to make. Farewell. It's cute. No, this cannot be all there is. I want more. I want to live. Do not torture thy fair child. You will forfeit. Thy fate is sealed. I decide my own fate. Oh yeah, welcome back, my friend.
Run, Ev, look out, Lilith is still here.
Are we sure? Soul is safe now. Lilith is gone. You triumphed over her at the last.
A chance I wouldn't have had if you'd not destroyed her in the flesh.
With a stout heart and the power of red magic, there is no foe we cannot overcome. As the two of you have amply proven. Now let us put this dreary ruin behind us. But have a care for your surroundings. This old city is home to more than a sinister voice sent. Okay. We did it, Ev. It was a hard-won battle, but your heart and steel carried the way. And we must express our gratitude to Jessie for conveying us to the ruins in the first place.
Nay,
I was but returning the favor. On accident precedents, I could mention, I don't like to leave the books on balance. Fuck you, Sid. Now I'd best be getting this girl back to the company docks, so is it farewell for me?
take care, Jessie, and thank you. Shall we head back to town then?
Okay. Up. Here we go. Oh, you're here too. There's not like a successful attempt. There's not like a successful rescue attempt to put a smile on my face. It is wonderful to have a companion back safe and sound.
It's wonderful to be back. I cannot wait to begin my training once more.
Yeah, about your training, surely you felt the change within yourself. Your proclivity to spellcasting was the propriety of Lilith's blood. Now that her corruption has faded from your veins, so too has your aptitude for the arcane.
Yeah, I feel the difference. My aver is so weak now that I doubt I could cast even the simplest of magics.
I wonder how you would take the news. You seem almost happy.
I am. The way I get to study magic from scratch and know all my achievements will be truly mine. Of course, this means I have a lot more work before I can catch up to Ev. But having such a distant goal will be what pushes me to endure the training ahead.
I'll be waiting.
I get there one day.
You're the heart of the Red Mage, that's for certain. Start yourself from the basic of thaumaturgy and conjury. A foundation you've built yourself will be far more stable than the instinctual power you possessed before. And when you've grasped the fundamentals, I can start your training in red magic again.
I look forward to that day, Shrun.
It makes so much sense that I did thaumaturgy before I did red mage, in that kind of like lineage and story of that I would like be good at red mage because I already had the arcane needed for it. That makes sense. So you've grown stronger than ever. You've known for some time that now that the magic of a red mage are fueled by the caster's own ether. The potency of your spell is a reflection of your indomitable spirit. And I dare say that the soul crystal you bear will reward your dedication to the art by granting you new knowledge. Thus concludes my stint as mentor for the now. Ev, you have graduated from my lessons, and Arya, you must ready yourself to begin all over again. You have flung yourself into revolutions, smoldering ashes, and reignited the fires of Alamigo's glory. Remember the light you brought to that liberation when next you plunge ahead into darkness.
Shun, you speak as if you mean to leave us.
I must return to my pilgrimage, but fear not. Those who defy the tides of destiny are always drawn together sooner or later. And so this is not farewell, merely a temporary parting of ways. Eagerly do I await the day our path crosses again, my friends.
See you later. What did I get?
Yielding mastery of the red contains new power within you. Oh, it must be yeah. Deal expect damage to target and all enemies nearby by a potency of 600. First enemy, Action can be assigned. There are two changed to their holy. Veraro is this one. Okay, yeah, makes sense. Makes sense because I have their flame, so now I have very. I was wondering when I was going to get that, and I got scored as well. Jolt 2. What? An impact. Ah, this one, okay, yeah. What did I want to check? I wanted to check the outfit before we continue. Okay, so that outfit is, I'm guessing, yeah. Yeah, that's the outfit of our beloved master. So it's this. No. Where are they? This. And not these. Ah, these. Yeah, it's the same outfit. I like mine better. There we go. Okay, hi Arya.
I was about to go looking for you. I had a letter from Shruntia and he's asked me to pass on a message. Arya, I hope this missive finds you well. Should you come across Ev in Revenant's Stall, pray send him to me in Alamigan Quarter. I have need of his help. What could be happening in Alamigo, I wonder? Well, I suppose there's only one way of finding out. Let's go!
Oh, wonderful to see my two S12 students. Another moment too soon.
We are glad to see you too. We are glad to see you too, Shrun. Though I gather the situation's not a happy one.
You gather correctly. You'll recall the brotherhood I was once part of, the Crimson Duelists. Well, it seems the keepsakes left behind by my deceased colleague have run a fall for some enterprising grave robbers. When the duelists met their end, some 2 decades past, I was too deeply engaged in my own battles to give them a burial they deserved. And so I did what many before me have done. I collected the blades of the dead and interred them within the tomb of the errant sword. With Alamigo much settled since the initial reclamation of the city, I judged it's time to pay respect to my fallen comrades. This is when I discovered the tomb in disarray, and one of the duelists' sword missing. It would seem such petty acts of larceny have become common of late, and although the resistance speaks of taking steps, the army has had its hands full overseeing the restoration efforts.
They said that unrest and dissidents have largely disappeared under General Aldwin's commands. Why sudden rush of lawbreaking?
Well, now that the Imperials have been beaten back, those who once suckled from the Empire's teeth are forced to look upon themselves for the wealth of which they are accustomed. For some, that means taking off a life of banditry. And the lowest amongst them, it means ransacking the resting place of their countrymen. A crime I do not intend to leave unpunished. As things stand, however, I have yet to deliver said judgment. This particular gang is uncommonly swift on foot, and I must temper my attacks lest I slay them ere learning the location of their stashed loot. Thus I turn to you for assistance. Capturing these thieves alive will be far easier than an extra pair of hands.
If it's extra hands you need, then count me in.
Without red magic at your beck and call? Nay, 'tis too dangerous for one still relearning their heart.
I've been practicing against the creatures of Mordona ever since we parted ways. My magics may not be what they once were, but I can cast the initiate spells well enough, I promise.
The monsters of Mordona are not to be trifled with. That was a risky path to take this stage of your training.
I took risks, yes, but not foolhardy ones. If I don't push myself to my limits, then I'll never catch up to you or Ev.
Don't fight. I wager you'll not take no for an answer. Very well. But you do not leave my side, understand?
Yes, thank you, Shrun. You won't regret this.
The 3 of us then. Bloodhoe is where these grave robbers ply their unsavory trade, and the edge of the graveyard is where we shall meet.
Has something in my tooth. Give me a sec. While we get there. Up.
Whoopsie. Go up, up. It's never the worst thing, it's just like if I feel I have something stuck in the tooth, I can't do anything until it's away. Because I just start obsessing over it. Up. Where is the... Ah, here he is. I'd like to simply snatch up these grave robbers, as they have proven an infuriatingly slippery foe, a foe that now knows my face. Which is why you must play the role of deceiver. Yeah, and the fact that we're wearing very similar clothes is not going to at all, like, yeah. Search the graveyard until you find the thieves in question. Then convince them it is in their interest to slink over there past the east. Once the scoundrels are too close to escape, Aya and I will spring our trap. Hey dudes.
You're looking for trouble, mate? How big of a fool do you have to be to wander up to a gang like this?
What you doing over here? You'll find far richer spoils in the graves to the east. You should head westwards. I saw a patrol sweeping the ground to the west. This one.
It's torturous, is it? And we'd best be moving on. Thanks for the warning, friend. Oh, and not that we doubt your words or anything, but you'd best come up with us. You'd best come with us. Quite a show of good faith amongst thieves. We'll be waiting up ahead. Don't you worry about us too, mate. They want to head to the east. Just like you suggested, and us? Well, someone's got to eliminate the competition. There we go. There you go. Good night to you. Nicely done, Ev. We caught this two completely off guard. And I must say, Arya, you exceeded my expectations. You made an impressive progress in such a short length of time.
Yes, and you was lesson that the mage skills were worth it. Even if it was painful to begin at the beginning again.
Oh, I see you've been cracking open as many books as you have monster schools. Your dedication to the fundamentals has certainly paid off. Now, I counted 4 brigands last time I was there. Knowing what I do to such villains, I assumed the other 2 sought to waylay you. Yet here you stand with scarce a hair out of place. All jesting aside, I suspect your skills have surpassed my own. What trials must you have endured to forge such strength? You don't want to know. I fought on another star and saved the world from oblivion. I fought on another star against hero stunt villain. First one. They want to talk about someone like that. Another star? Even your adventures play out and stage beyond my wildest imagining. And with talk of Sin Eaters, was it? It sounds to me as if your battles took place on the edge of suffering itself. Were you hard and still, even the mightiest red mage would be tested. Well, I wasn't a red mage then. I did them all as Gunbreaker. But whilst it is endlessly gratifying to hear the exploit of one former student, I suppose we should return to the matter of hand. Once we had subdued these ruffians here, a few threats gleamed us from the location of their ill-gotten gains, all buried in a box of royal hunting grounds, or so they claim. I believe another division of labor is in order. Ah yeah, pray hand or captive over to the resistance, then wait for us at the Tomb of the Arid Sword. Ev, you and I will have some digging to do. Do you feel that? The ground is soft, suddenly not us back down elsewhere. I think I found a cache. Phew. Glad I am to have found this before they hauled it off to the black market. I cracked the lid to check the content, and the box is indeed filled with stolen goods, including one rather familiar sword. Come, we should return these articles. Ah, hello, Sunny. Thank you for the raid. God. Twitch has been so bad with anything lately.
like I didn't get an audio notification for this. I saw it from the corner of my eye, and the other day someone followed, and I didn't get a notification either. And this one was not on the Twitch activity feed, no, nowhere. Insane. What did you do? I saw you started streaming earlier. I saw you started streaming earlier, but I was going to stream, so obviously I couldn't join. You were modeling? Ah, nice. What were you modeling? For the shop or something else? The shop. Nice, nice, nice. Excited to see. We are playing FF14. I am finishing a quest, so out of context, this is all a lot. I'm sorry. Basically, what I do on FF14, I'm going to stop doing that. I'm going to just do normal quests now because I did this for too long and it takes too much time. But basically, is in FF14 you can have a bunch of different quote-unquote jobs, so classes, fighting styles. You can have DPS, healer, tank. And so they all have their own storylines. And so what I do a lot is I just take a job, I level it up to the max level to do all of the story content. And I do the story content off stream. So that's your stream. I still wanted to raid you. You do your thing. I know, don't worry. Thank you so much for the raid once again, Sonny. It's always so sweet to have you on here. But yeah. And today, Red Mage, which is half magic, half you got a sword and you stab people with it. And we're finishing this, and we're literally like finishing the last quest of this, so yeah. Come, we should return this article to the tomb. With any luck, Arya would have arrived already. But yeah, we fought a serpent lady, snake lady. That was called Lilith. And wanted to like get back at humans and destroy all of humankind. So chill things, really. Should I go through there? Yeah, it's pretty. Haven't gone through there in a while. So yeah, but it takes a lot of time to level up everything, and I've been like basically just doing that for like hours on end at night. So kind of going to take a little break off of that just to do some story content that doesn't require me to like be grinding for hours on end. Like I played FF14 from midnight to like 5:30 a.m. last night just to get to the level I need to be. So like, it's good to take a break. The Galleon may rule over the royal city, but they will never rule over me. I will continue duty as royal historian of the catalogue of deeds of all amigos, kings, both great and terrible. Yet my recent visit to the crypt have left me at a loss for words. With none to tend to them, once somber halls have fallen into the state of utter disrepair. Tom lie plundered, the bones of kings strew across the north body upon all manner of foul creatures. Okay. Probably have read that the last time I was here, but I forgot. Okay, the historian from the Alamigan Library? Yeah. Before the Gallians took over. I'll be lurking, but oh my god, you cannot just stay up till 5 a.m. Should try to sleep more. I really want to, and that is the reason why I'm stopping doing the leveling jobs for a little bit. Because even without the whole staying up until 5 a.m, like every night being like, okay, I need to do this, and I can't do any actual story content in the game or any of the content in the game, or just like if there's an evening where I don't want to play the game and I want to do something else, well, I'd be fucked for stream. So nice to take a little break. But yeah, that's what I was saying earlier. I'm like, I'm so tired. I need to actually sleep earlier. Like, because of this, like, I went to sleep at like between 7 and 8 a.m. like 3 days in a row, which is not good. And this quest is basically some people stole swords from this guy, Stolen Comrades, which is like our mentor in this job. Because this region was under occupation of a tyrannical empire for a little bit, and then we helped them, and now they're not anymore. And so this guy was like, now that the revolution's done and we're like doing the rebuilding effort, I wanted to bury my friends correctly, because when they died I didn't have the time to actually do it because of the invasion and everything. And when I went, I saw that some of the graves had been robbed, and so we went to go get the grave robbers and kick their asses, and now we have the swords back. Right, let's turn these relics into their rightful places. And this is my character, by the way. The bunny is me. Gotta love Bunny Boy. Yeah, and now on Sundays, instead of doing job content for a little while, I'll go back to job content because I do really like job quests. I'll just be doing every single side quest that you can do in the game, region per region. Not all at once. Like, I'll be going back over, like, I'm sure a lot of time, but it's good. Like, I don't need to actually do anything before I go on stream content for a while, until I get back into like, I want to start another job, and then we'll be back to where we started. That should be the last of them.
But what of your comrades' blades?
Oh well, would you indulge me in a moment of nostalgia? The man who yielded this sword suffered from shallow reserves of ether, and so he commissioned a weapon available of channeling his energies in the most efficient manner.
Ether is magic. Replace ether with magic and like, same shit.
As you might imagine, the custom blade thus forged cost a small fortune in coin. It would taunt him at his empty purse without mercy, of course, challenging him to become a mage worthy of such priceless steel. His reply to our jarring comment would always stay with me. Even should I fail to do this steel justice, it will remain long after I have perished. A kindred soul shall take up the sword, and then you will see my coin was wisely spent.
Mm.
His hope for such a legacy died with the Crimson Duelists. I entombed the blade, believing that no new sage would rise to claim it. But I was wrong. You two stand here as living proof of our efforts to revive red magic were not in vain. 'Twas then I discovered the stone missing, that I was put in my mind again of my comrade's sword. And I wonder if he did not orchestrate his affair from beyond the grave, only to remind me of his will. This is actually really sweet. Ev, you appear to have distinct taste in weapons. This blade, I think, should belong to Arya.
Yeah, and the whole like, not a lot of ether. Because her whole thing was basically that she had very powerful ether, very powerful magic, but couldn't control it well. And then we discovered that the reason for that was because she had, she was a descendant of basically evil magicians that did blood magic. And so that blood magic seeped into her blood by way of descending. And so we helped her get rid of that blood magic, because her whole thing was, when I don't have energy anymore, I kind of want to eat living beings, which isn't great. And so we discovered all this and went to deliver her by going to kill Lilith, which is the deity that her blood magic was linked to. And so by defeating Lilith, her curse was broken, but then all of her like very raw power went with it, and she had to relearn magic from the get-go.
But I'm not even your student right now. I don't think I deserve to have it.
I made a promise to you, did I not? That once you learn to harness your ether, I will take you under my tutelage once more. The way I see it, you have more than upheld your end of the bargain. Accept the sword, Arya. Be my apprentice and help me usher a new future for the Red.
The whole red thing is because the job name is Red Mage. You should take the sword. I'm still afraid of the spirits of the dead. You should take the sword. Just be nice to her. She was afraid of ghosts, poor Gollipop.
I will. If you would offer to accept me as your student once more, then let this be my answer.
It is done. Let us present here this day to swear a new oath, to fight for the common good with pure heart and unbending steel. And so concludes our business here. But as much as I'd like to accompany you back to Mordona, I fear my own pilgrimage must continue. This war was with the Imperials as Alamigo teetering into the brink of uncertainty once more, and I must assume the situation is most taxing for you and your fellow Scions. You have no idea. Thus, for the time being, shall I keep my blade loose in its sheath. It may be but one man, but know that I shall remain vigilant against the Empire's machinations, and I chart my course across the lands of the Orja. I'm sorry that I cannot yet devote myself to your lessons, Arya. The demands in the road are such that I cannot take you with me, but still hope you move as swiftly.
Your oath takes precedence, of course. I'm ecstatic just to know you'll be my mentor once again. Please stay safe on your travels.
I appreciate your understanding, and I will stop by to aid your progress in Revenant's Toll whenever circumstances permit. I take my leave then. Fare you well, Ev. Next we meet, I expect your scarlet hues shall be ever the more vivid.
Aww.
Well, we'll never meet again. This is the last quest of the storyline. Maybe I'll see you in TMSQ, but more than that, I don't think we'll see each other again.
Shall we make our way back to Mordona then?
But like with a lot of this, I'm always like wondering if characters will come back and hoping they'll come back, because it's always fun to have them back. In general, also having them be like, "Oh yes, you! I fought with you once upon a moon."
I've been so consumed with restoring my magics, but now I have a new goal, learning to yield my new sword with perfect execution. With Shrun's instruction, I mean to become a red mage worthy of his comrade's weapon, and I wouldn't say no to any help from you either, Ev.
Chances are we'll never see each other again, but thank you. I hope we will, but very unlikely. Okay, let's go back to Limsa. Bye bye, Arya. Thank you. I'll show you my new warrior outfit that I do tend to wear, because Nan made it for me and I made myself a new axe, so I'm very excited to actually use it. And also I need to put stuff in the coffer because I have new of these. We never use fucking materia in this group, so it's not great, but you know. Well, Nan's here. Did not expect hands on ways that made me laugh. Elemental materia, that goes here. Savage aim, yes, and savage minds. There we go. So, let me show you the new outfit. Up. So obviously this is the one I have for Red Mage, but the new one for Warrior. And I think it's really cute. I like the big hoodie, big pants with like kind of big pockets and very like scruffy almost gloves, like very almost handmade with like additional stuff. And also the boots are very like that vibe with like brush leather and a big like hat to keep yourself warm. And even though my axe is technically a crystal axe, I like the idea that it's actually an ice axe. Visually, kind of. It looks like ice a little bit. It goes with the whole like big sweater, big pants, big boots, big hat look. And then the axe is ice. I think that's quite cute. I do want to change my minion though as well. Because I put the little horsey for this because it fit with the red mage, but what should I put up? For what works with warrior? I could put the little guy. It's been a while since I had Mika armor. I could put the teddy bear. I feel like would work as well. I got this little pig as well, which is really cute. I kind of want to do Mika armor. It's been a while. Up. Little friend. Oh, it doesn't go in the shoulder. Well, fuck me, I guess. And look at Nan's cute outfit as well. Red mage. If I can do that correctly. Up. Very nice. Very soldier-like. The posture to wait in. Very, I'm waiting for you. Let's train. Okay, anyways. Up. So, as I was saying, next week I'm not going to start another job because I've done quite a few now, and we'll start a new job whenever I get tired of just doing random quests and I feel up to the task to doing a new job, or I've started playing something else and I'm like, I kind of want to do the quest for this. But so far, we've just finished Red Mage, we've done Machinist, Monk, Astrologian, and Black Mage. Yeah, that's all. So we've done 4 jobs, which is already quite good, knowing that we did this 30 levels one in 2 sessions. So yeah, and when I'll take a new one, I'll take one that starts level 1, so that it's I also have like a lengthier time and it's like a bit more nicer. Honestly, I do think the next one will be Conjurer. That would make sense, because I would like to do a White Mage before I get to Scholar, and I kind of want to do Arcanist as the next like DPS thing I do. So we shall see. Doing all of the magical range apparently. But we shall see. I might do a melee, because I've only done 1. But yeah, we'll see for then. So, next week, blah blah blah. Up. No, here. For once I have my schedule ready. Hope everyone's proud. So, tomorrow I'm off, as always. I'm always off on Mondays and Thursdays. On Tuesday and Friday we're continuing art streams, so doing the digital sketchbook. I started a Spider-Man spread, so we'll finish the Spider-Man spread. I'm guessing that'll take only 1 session, and we'll see if it takes 1 or 2, but I guess it'll only take 1. And then on the other one, we'll see what we do. Then Wednesday, we're continuing the House of Da Vinci. I'm guessing we'll finish it next week. That would make sense. I hope we have enough game to make it full session. I don't know how much is left. And then on Saturday, Cyberpunk, continuing Cyberpunk, and continuing so FF14. On Sunday, but that will be... Look, it's on my shoulder. Yippee. He only comes when he wants to. But that will be, like I said, doing random quests here and there rather than doing the job quests, so I don't have to kill myself trying to level up. So yeah, I'll be going now. Thank you for watching, thank you for hanging out, and I'll see you on Tuesday for art stream. Bye bye.